Good evening, students. So let us continue from where we left and let us discuss the last couple of lines. I read out the lines. Perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. I repeat, perhaps the earth can teach us as when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Now I'll count up to 12 and you keep quiet and I will go. So now we'll discuss these lines. Children, these are the last couple of lines of the poem, and here, like in the previous video, I told you that the writer has used the literary device personification where inanimate things are given attribute of life, and here you can see earth is written in capital, and here the writer has used it as a symbol as well as he has used it as a personification. He has used the literary device because here earth teaches you. Teaching is a human trait, human beings teach, and nature is doesn't teach. Though it teaches, but it teaches in subtle way, not exactly the way human beings teach. So here this is personification, and then it is also used as a symbol, as like it is used as a symbol of balance where everything is perfect. The earth moves yet intermittently, it stops, pauses and gets slow also, so that later it can move meaningfully and effectively and with some pace also. So to move fast we have to slow down. It's a must. This is the way of life. So children, here you see how to work. Who can teach us? Earth is the best example. Like we say that life imitates nature. If you observe, you must have seen that the saints and all, they like to be in the company of nature. Like whenever William Wordsworth used to get perturbed with the realities of life, whenever he was confused, whenever he wanted to learn something, he would always turn to nature. He would go and sit in the lap of nature and observe and learn. And people say that it cannot teach you directly the way human beings do, but it can surely teach you in its own way. Only you have to have that sensitive mind, body and soul to understand and interpret nature. So children, perhaps the teacher, earth is the best teacher. It can teach you. What it can teach you? As when everything seems dead and later proves to be alive. Here you will see, like we have some, like summer and winter, they are the two major seasons, and rest of the seasons are the byproducts of these two seasons. So during winters, everything freezes. Life comes to a standstill. On surface it appears like things are dead, which is not so. It appears like, but it is not. Inside there is a lot of movement, a lot of preparation. Like before examination, children, you all are quiet because suddenly you all go quiet because there is a lot of preparation to get good marks. So to get good marks in life also, you have to be quiet. There should be pause, there should be calmness. So the same you see in nature also. Before, like during winters, there is like stillness which looks like death, but suddenly after winter comes spring. Like in that poem, like Ode to the West Wind, P.B. Shelley says these two very, very important lines. Children, he says like, if winter comes, can spring be far behind? So children, like if there is winter, winter is the preparation for summer. It's not quite, the nature is not sitting idle. It's continuously working, but the work, the creativity cannot be seen on the surface, but preparation is going on. So you should also exactly in the same manner we should work. It should not be continuous. It should be like it happens in nature, like there is winter, it is the rest period. Like you say, it is the incubation period when you are preparing silently inside your cocoon. No, not necessary that you should be all the time jumping here and there. So all the philosophers also, you must have seen, they think sometimes we say, if a child is sitting quiet and he's thinking, pondering over something, meditating, we often say, you don't have to do anything, why you are sitting idle? We forget that for activity there must be thought, because manifestation of thought takes very little time. In 2 minutes you can do what you thought for hours and days and months. Manifestation and the show of that thought takes 2 minutes. So execution of that thought takes 2 minutes, but that thought to materialize and to consummate, it takes many, sometimes even years. So children, we should act exactly in the way nature acts. So letter proves to be alive. Something looks like dead, so we should wait, think, and then act. Come back to life, and whatever we have to do, let us do thoughtfully, mindfully, not so that just rush, just do something and then regret later. It's better to think before and act later than vice versa, like do first and think later. Then we are not thinking, we are regretting. So children, now I'll count up to 12 and you will keep quiet. So here actually the writer is asking and advocating us to be quiet, calmness, because calmness will lead to peace and harmony, because we will understand each other when we are calm, when we are quiet. So quiet and I will go. Why he says I will go? He says that I will go and meditate and introspect my life, what I did, should I have done that, and learn from my mistakes, think and then correct my mistakes, and then think how I'm going to walk in future. Now in the end, the writer has actually left the ball in your court, in the court of the readers. Now it is up to you, like how you think about your actions and how you walk upon it, and how you in silence, in quiet, how you associate yourself with others and lead to a future of peace and harmony. So children, with that we come to the end of this poem. We are in class 12th, and this is for class 12 children, so there is not much time. We have to do things very fast, and children, wherever you fail to understand, children, this can be asked in the class when we meet next. And in class 12 we don't have any language portion, like we only have literature, and whatever writing skill we have, like all the writing skills we have been doing since class like 7th and 8th and 9th and 10th and 11th we have done. The only writing skill need to be taught in class 11th is invitations and replies, which I will do, because online it will be very little inconvenient. So I will teach you in the class so that there is proper interaction, and I can explain to you, showing, and then the face to face will be better for invitations and replies. So children, with that we come to the end of this poem, and next I will teach you the poem, the first poem, My Mother at 66. So children, okay, we have to discuss the structure of the poem, keeping quiet. Children, this poem is written in free verse. Now what is free verse? Children, we have free verse, we have blank verse, we have poems written in rhymes. There are different varieties of rhymes also, as we will not go deep into it. So children, this particular poem is written in, there is no rhyme pattern in this poem. This poem is written in free verse. Now what is free verse and what is the difference between free verse and blank verse? Blank verse, like I'll give you example, you people are very young, you must not have read that poem, but whenever we talk about blank verse, it comes in the letter competitive examination. Who is the master of it? It is John Milton, because he used this device, he used this structure for his poem Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained. Famous epics they are. Now children, this particular poem is not written in blank verse. It is written in free verse. Free verse means where in both the cases, free verse and blank verse, there is no rhyme pattern. But in case of what we say, the free verse and blank verse has some rhythm. There is regular rhythm which is not so here. So children, this particular poem is written in free verse. So now children, in the next video we will discuss the next poem, which is My Mother at 66, and because there is little time, so I will little bit talk about the title of the poem. It is written by Kamla Das, and she is a Keralite, and she is an award winning, she has received Sahitya award, and both for Kerala and from India. And children, she is a very bold writer, and she is one of the forerunners of in India's English literature. And children, she writes a lot about her own personal life, and she is a very courageous writer. And in this poem, like My Mother at 66, if you see, when I was teaching you alliteration, I told you sometimes for names it is used just to emphasize the name. My mother, the same ma sound is being repeated. She could have written mother at 66, but my mother, she is putting an emphasis on her closeness to her mother. My mother, ma sound is being repeated, so this is alliteration. And she could have written 65, because we usually talk in round figures. We don't exactly say. There are two reasons why so. Because 66, she wanted to emphasize the exactness of the age. 66 sound is being repeated here. 66. So this is an example of alliteration. The other reason why she has exactly quoted the age is because when you grow old, children, every single year, every single month, every single moment, you are moving very fast towards your ultimate end, towards death. Because in this poem, the writer Kamla Das is actually discussing about her her relationship with her mother, and her association with her mother, and her feeling of separation or losing her mother. She has discussed in this poem this same feeling of losing her mother or separation with her mother in this poem, My Mother at 66. So far the structure is concerned, children, this particular poem, My Mother at 66, again children, it is written in one sentence. The whole poem is in one sentence, which is a very, very novel. Very rarely will you come across poem where the whole poem is written in one sentence. There is only one full stop at the end of the poem, and there is no rhyme pattern. And children, it's very irregular foot. Like if you read the poem, you will find that the lines are not of equal length. In some lines there are 3 words, like foot is very different, irregular foot you find in this poem. So it's a unique practice and unique experiment on part of Kamla Das. So because she is dealing with only one thought, and the thought is her fear of losing her mother, that is the reason why she has used only one sentence to convey her feelings. So children, in the next video we will continue with My Mother at 66. For now, this is for this video, and so bye. We'll meet in the next video. Bye. Thank you.